when sales is in next week, we're having a meeting, just us, marketing and sales, to brainstorm ideas. And we're talking about what our customers are saying and what they need and what sales needs from us. Hey, I need this deck for this customer. I need this type of lead. These are the ones that are converting the most. Here's what our customers have been asking for. I'm listening to all of that. And then we're changing strategy in the back end of marketing.
Revenue boosters, tips now in the fast lane. Watch your profits grow. Welcome to the Rev Up Podcast.
Hey everybody, I am so excited to welcome Whitney to the podcast today. Whitney is the Vice President of Marketing at FlyGuys, and FlyGuys is very, very cool business. They are a marketplace for real-world data capture, which really means that they are a marketplace of drone pilots and drones to go out into the world and capture information for companies that need it. And they have over 13,000 pilots in their network. Their business is growing really, really quickly. And I'm excited to talk to Whitney about the secrets she's learned growing this network, this marketplace of this really cool new technology and offering. So Whitney, welcome to Rev Up Podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So Whitney, before we get into what the secrets you're learning, what's your story? Why did you join FlyGuys?
Yeah, so, oh my gosh, I've been in marketing since I graduated college. So 13 years or so now. And before I came to FlyGuys, I was with a startup called Waiter. And I remember starting at Waiter and kind of thinking, is a startup for me? This is a little chaotic. There's not a bunch of processes. It just felt like crazy. So anyways, long story short, I stayed at Waiter for 4 years, ended up falling in love with the chaos of a startup. And we grew a lot at Waiter. Within 4 years, we sold and went public. I think we sold for $308 million. And
Wait, 4 years?
Yeah. And then I was able to go to New York City and ring the bell. And it was like this crazy once in a lifetime experience. So I thought. And so the president of Waiter actually was a board member here at FlyGuys and asked me to consult. And so I came and started consulting for marketing and then chose to come on full time as the VP of marketing. And it just worked out. It's the startup world in Lafayette is small. And so luckily I've worked with the right people and was able to move over to FlyGuys. And we're seeing the same type of growth, which is pretty incredible.
Wow, that is unbelievable. So, I'm hearing some interesting stuff there. So you found the right group of people in Lafayette with Waiter and now with FlyGuys. So what's your secret to finding success twice in a row?
I think it's all about knowing the market, really understanding the type of people you want to work with. There's a certain culture that I look for. I love chaos. I love change. I love people who are willing to push the boundaries and try something new, who aren't scared to take risk. Those are the type of people I gravitate to. And I also think those are the type of people who really know how to grow a business and build a startup. And so for me, I wanted to pick a company that had the right size market and the right people, and it worked out.
That's amazing. The right people is so important. I know it's trite. Everyone says picking the right people to work with, but it seems like you've really figured that out. You in Lafayette, finding this person from Waiter and following them to FlyGuys and seeing that success in very different industries, leading marketing. That's very cool.
You spend more time at work than you do at home. And so you want to be around people that you enjoy and have the same goals as you, the same work ethic. And so I've been lucky in that aspect.
That's fantastic. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty of it. So FlyGuys is a unique marketplace, right? You guys have drone pilots and people that need real world data, which is sort of a niche that you're putting together in this marketplace.
Yes.
How do you think about the right channels to find each customer type for your marketplace?
Yeah. So for us, we listen to the voice of our customers. And when I say customers, I mean on both sides, on the demand side and the supply side. And so by supply, I mean our pilots. I want to know where our pilots are living. Are they on YouTube or are they on Facebook? Are they on search engines? And so we talk to our pilots, we survey our pilots, and same thing on the customer side. We know them, we talk to them, we want to understand them. I think it's silly for marketers to guess. When you have a customer, just ask, and they'll tell you. And so when we started surveying our pilots and our customers, we started to change the channels that we use because we realized a lot of our pilots were on YouTube. So let's go to YouTube. Our customers honestly were more on LinkedIn and less on Facebook. And so we pushed towards LinkedIn and search engines. And we found the right recipe that works for our customers and our pilots by just listening.
That's super cool. So what did that look like? How did you talk to them? Like what tactically, or what are you doing to have those conversations?
So yeah, we recently went through a rebrand, and during that rebrand process, we worked with an agency and built this really incredible survey, one for pilots and one for customers. And we even had a third survey for our long-term partners that had been with us from the beginning to kind of give us an understanding of their sort of perspective of us as we grew. And so we had new customers, long-term partners, and pilots. We surveyed them, and then the agency put it together with all these different metrics, and we sat and went through every single metric. And we also are creating a pilot advisory board and a customer advisory board where we will be talking to them. We'll have them come into our office, and we want the truth. We are very open. Our CEO is incredible about this. We believe in true partnerships, and you can't have a true partnership if you aren't telling each other the truth. So we want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly so that we can get better. And so that's sort of the culture that's going down through the whole company, is like, okay, if we messed up, we want to know that we messed up so that we can fix it. I would rather hear the bad and fix it than always get the good and not know when things are going wrong. And so that's sort of just the culture we have here.
That's awesome. So as you went through that survey and you read all the results and went through all the metrics, what was the worst thing that you found that you were able to action and fix?
Okay, so the truth is we thought it would be worse than it was. So I guess when you're in it every single day, you as employees, we sort of hear a lot of the negative or even beat ourselves up like, oh man, we messed up on this. So is the market feeling that way about us? Do we need to change our name? Like, we went through all of that. And the survey actually gave us the insight that we didn't need to change our name, that people really actually loved FlyGuys, loved the way we worked, loved our communication. The biggest issue was that pilots wanted more work, which is incredible. We want to give you more work. And so that's what we're working on. We're working on growing the business so that we can give more work to our pilots. But overall, it was much more positive than we had anticipated, which was good. It helped lift up the spirits, I think, of our employees, because we're like, oh, dang, we thought some of these results would be worse than they are.
I mean, it is true. Feedback's tough. It's scary to hear about, the bad. And sometimes, thinking about the feedback that you're going to get means that you're going to learn things that might not be fixable or that's a very tough thing to do. It's probably why people don't actually do the work to get the information or get the feedback. So you just went through a rebrand, right?
Yes.
A lot of it was formed from the survey and listening to customers. What were some of the changes in the rebrand that you all made to pull things forward or improve things for that change?
Yeah, so we, in the past, FlyGuys was bright blue and a little bit more techie feeling, and we are a tech company. However, every company that we looked at, all of our competitors, and I say all, for the most part, a large majority of our competitors, they were also blue. We all look the same. When the agency pulled up the websites of our competitors, I am embarrassed to say that we all looked exactly the same, and I was like dumbfounded by it. I was like, I'm embarrassed. I cannot believe I allowed this to happen. And so it was like a light bulb went off. We want to be different from everybody else because we feel like we are different from everybody else. And so we decided to change the brand to feel much more like the customers and the pilots that we serve. And so we really leaned into this relatable brand that feels more earthy. All of our jobs, I say all, I keep saying all, but for the majority, most of our jobs are outside in the world. And so we wanted it to feel outdoorsy, like our pilots who are out in the fields. And we wanted it to feel like a very relatable brand. We're from the South. We wanted people to feel that Southern hospitality. We want to communicate with our customers. We want to treat our customers well. We want to have raving fans. And so we built a brand that felt relatable to our customers. But the way I kept describing it was like, we're the experts you want to have a beer with. We're relatable experts. And so that's sort of what we built the brand around. It's like, we know what we're talking about, but you want to hang out with us, you want to get to know us, and you want to be a partner.
I just can't get past that concept of looking at your competitors and you and all of them being the same blue and the right same aesthetic. And it's interesting that, the first thing that we were talking about is listening to your customers, just doing the survey, just listening to what media they consume, what platforms are on to go and target them, but also thinking about when they're approaching this decision, what is the competitive set? Who are they looking at, and how do you differentiate and stand out? And I love that you didn't just say, hey, we don't want to be blue. What we do want to do is be more about earth and the people, not the sky, right? And the drones, which is kind of a cool insight that you guys got to. And I think there's a lot for, I think, all of us to learn of listening to our customers. I know it's simple, but just listen.
Yeah, it seems simple, but I'm in a marketing roundtable and we talk about this a lot. And it's almost like we're so busy that we forget the main part of our role, which is knowing our customers. We get so inundated with like the little task that we forget the big picture. And the big picture is how our customers and our pilots feel about us. And so I really want to be tapped into that.
Absolutely. Is a nice point. It's really about how your customers feel about you. But let's make that quantifiable.
Yeah.
You have more of a startup background. You also have a brand background. What metrics are you using as the vice president of marketing at FlyGuys, a fast growing marketplace, to think about success, to think about goals, performance? How do you think about metrics personally?
So we look at all sorts of metrics, and I think there are metrics that are much more important than other metrics. In my opinion, I am looking at leads that convert into revenue. That is what I look at every single day. I'm wanting to know which leads are coming in and which ones are actually converting into revenue, because I've seen in the past marketers who get hung up on MQLs to SQLs. I want to see lead to revenue. If they don't generate revenue, they're likely the wrong type of lead. And so that's important to me. And I work very, very closely with our sales leader. In my opinion, sales and marketing should be extremely aligned, and marketing serves sales. That is something I say to every salesperson when they start, is that we are here to serve you. We are here to work together. We have to be aligned. And so that's the message that has been pushed out to the whole organization, is that sales and marketing are completely aligned. And our goal together is to turn leads into revenue.
I appreciate, it's such a breath of fresh air how straightforward everything that you're doing is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting that there's not this whole political process of, hey, we're driving the right MQLs. We're really focused on page conversion rate. We're really focused on, reducing the CPM of these things. You're like, we just need revenue. And we're going to be here to support sales. It's great to sort of hear you talk about that because, frankly, I'm sure a lot of folks that are listening, sales or marketing folks, want the silver bullet, right? They want to figure out what is, like, if I could just improve this one metric by 20%, we're all set. I love that you're just, how do we support revenue and marketing serves sales? What does that actually look like on a day-to-day basis? Like how does that manifest differently than optimizing MQLs for you?
The way we work as an organization is every single lead that comes in, one, I read them because it's just, I like to see them, but we have a channel so we use Slack for communication. All of our leads go there. We're communicating with sales every single day on these leads. I'm reading them and going, this is not a good lead. And then I'm looking back to research where that lead came from and understanding where we're spending money and all of these things. So that's part of it. But we talk to sales all the time too. We have monthly meetings with sales. When sales is in next week, we're having a meeting, just us, marketing and sales, to brainstorm ideas. And we're talking about what our customers are saying and what they need and what sales needs from us. Hey, I need this deck for this customer. I need this type of lead. These are the ones that are converting the most. Here's what our customers have been asking for. I'm listening to all of that. And then we're changing strategy in the back end of marketing. Are we ranking for the right keywords based on what sales is seeing in the market and hearing from customers? It's all these little things, but we are so tightly aligned. I talk to the VP of sales every single day, and it's never these leads aren't good, sales isn't closing. It's how can we work together to drive more revenue into the business? And we talk about it and we work together. I have friends who work for other organizations, and it's always a battle between marketing and sales, which is wild to me. If we aren't working together and we're working against each other and pointing the fingers, we cannot grow, especially at the rate that we're projected to grow. We have to be aligned.
I mean, it's so interesting, the inputs versus outputs and like how that works. It seems like if you can get this right, growth is much better. What does that look like for you guys? How is that actually in terms of outputs working?
Yeah, so we are closing, our sales team closed about 25% is their closing ratio, which is really incredible.
Of leads?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Wow. That's crazy. So you're bringing really good leads in, their sales team selling effectively. That's a crazy conversion rate.
Yeah, it even surprises us sometimes, but it's incredible to watch. But also, our company is growing triple-digit growth year over year over year. And it's a testament to our leadership, our sales, our marketing. It's our operations team. Because the truth is, marketing can bring in the leads, sales can close them, but operations has to execute. If operations doesn't execute, we lose the customer. And so we all are really, really aligned on what our goal is. And our goal is to execute well so that people love us. We create raving fans, which turns into revenue. If your customers love you and they are raving fans, they come back to buy again. It's because you served them the way you said you would. And so it's just like living up to your word and doing what you say you're going to do.
It's unbelievable. I cannot believe you guys have been growing over 100% year over year for multiple years. That's just a crazy accomplishment. And I'm trying my best to learn as much as I can from you because that's just fantastic. This is great. Whitney, so the 3 things I've learned today. Number 1, work with great people on a space that's growing really quickly. And I mean, you've done a great job of definitely picking space that are growing quickly. Drone operators, drone pilots in the marketplace is amazing. I take your word for it that the other benefit is you're with great people because there are other competitors. So winning in that space must be a tribute to you and the rest of the team. 2, I appreciate listening to customers. It's just great to reinforce the simple concept of listening to your customers. Where are they? How do you speak to them? What is their experience as they go through the journey that you can really support them in making that decision potentially with you as their provider? That's awesome. And then finally, I think it's just incredible. Don't get caught up in the politics and metrics. Just focus on how do we serve sales as a marketing organization to drive towards revenue. And I think the simplicity seems like it's really working because that growth is absolutely astounding.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is we can overcomplicate things, but why? Why overcomplicate it? It's just easier to focus on the things that matter instead of focusing on all these little things that frankly don't matter to us currently. What we're doing is working, and so we're going to focus on what's working, and I'm not going to get caught up in vanity metrics. I'm going to do what I think is right for the business, and that's kind of how we are as an organization. We're not focusing on the metrics that don't matter. We're focusing on the right metrics that matter for our company.
It's unbelievable. Whitney, this is so great. It was a really great conversation. Where can our folks find more information from you, more information about FlyGuys?
FlyGuys.com. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're everywhere. So just look up FlyGuys and you'll see our beautiful new colors and brand and logo that we're very proud of. And so, yeah, that's how you can find us, FlyGuys.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Whitney. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rev up your ears, it's time to ignite. GTM leaders bringing secrets to light. Revenue boosters